Terms and conditions apply.
To help fight the spread of coronavirus, learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of coronavirus in Kenya.
This is NTV.
Well, hello there. You are just in time for NTV Tonight. On a day the country has recorded more than 1,400 COVID-19 cases, the highest in a single day. And to combat this unrelenting spread of the virus, the head of state has issued new directives effective today. And on the other side of the continent, the outcome of the United States presidential election hangs in the balance as different states continue to count ballots, including some of the most competitive battleground states where the tally could take days to complete, as reported. But first, the highlights.
Tonight, the country can no longer mask the impact of the building COVID-19 wave.
No mask, no service.
Why don't I see that?
And part of the president's tough measures will dampen the Christmas holiday cheer.
The nationwide curfew is extended up to the 3rd of January 2021.
Also tonight, another school in voice scarred by COVID-19. While Kolanya Boys School in Busia is now a containment zone.
There should be clear testing so that we are able to tell who else has been infected.
But children will stay in school. Plus, close to 1,500 more test positive for COVID-19. And now, count is contend with the surging wave.
Where there is an upsurge of COVID-19 cases, the national government will consult the affected county to issue localized lockdowns.
And also tonight, it's a close nail-biter in the US presidential election as both sides predict to win.
This is a fraud on the American public.
It's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election.
NTV Tonight with Zainab Ismail.
Well, thank you for joining us. Our sign language interpreter this evening is David Agondoa. Now, October was a difficult month, a morbidly difficult one in as far as the COVID-19 pandemic goes. The month with the highest number of COVID-19 infections, the greatest coronavirus death toll, a slowing down recovery rate, and a struggling healthcare system. Now, in seeking for better timing, or rather tidings in November, and ultimately for the lives of Kenyans, President Uhuru Kenyatta has reviewed some of the containment measures. And let's now take a look at what the coming days, weeks and months actually will be looking like. And if you are not an essential service provider, you should be indoors at this time or in less than an hour, as the dusk to dawn curfew timing has been revised to between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. Further, it has been extended to the 3rd of January 2021. Meanwhile, all bars, restaurants and other establishments open to the public have been directed to close by 9 p.m. in light of the revised curfew. Now, these establishments selling alcohol have been asked to do all that is necessary to ensure enhanced compliance with the Ministry of Health guidelines and protocols. However, the industry says it has been asking the government for the sector specific protocols for weeks, but to no avail. Now on to schools. Form 4, Standard 8 and Grade 4 learners who are already in school will remain there, and the national examinations will proceed as planned. The rest of the learners in the country will resume in-person classes in 2 months, as the schools are to be reopened in January. Now, all political gatherings and rallies have also been suspended for 60 days with immediate effect, and those wishing to do such meetings and other indoor events have been directed to do so in town halls and host a maximum of 1/3 of the sitting capacity. Now, directions on religious gatherings remain unchanged, while capacity in weddings and funerals will stand at 100 people. All cabinet secretaries, chief administrative secretaries and principal secretaries have also been ordered to scale down in-person engagements, and now all government meetings will be held virtually where needed. All state and public officers aged above 58 years or who are immunocompromised have been ordered to work remotely. This, however, excludes those serving in critical sectors. Now, the Ministry of Interior has been directed to constitute a special enforcement unit for COVID-19 containment protocols. And in the counties where there is an upsurge of COVID-19 infections, the President said the national government will consult with the respective county governments to institute localized lockdowns and movement restrictions, while counties have also been told to maintain isolation facilities. And finally, you will not be able to receive public service without a mask under the banner of a campaign dubbed "No Mask, No Service" or "Bila Barakoa Hakuna Huduma." Meanwhile, learning institutions continue to report an outbreak of COVID-19 weeks after phased resumption of classes. The government now says it is escalating preventive measures in schools to avert a catastrophic outbreak, while maintaining that classes will continue regardless. Full resumption of learning activities was also set for January 2021. Charity Mwangi reports on the new measures for the education sector.
At Kolanya Secondary School in Busia County, 52 students who have tested positive for COVID-19 are isolated under a tent. Not far away, a disinfection exercise is underway. A random test conducted Tuesday returned at least 60 positive results involving students and members of teaching and non-teaching staff. The school has now been converted into an isolation center, meaning students will stay in to avert a possible community infection should they be released.
The teachers who tested positive and non-teaching staff already have taken leave.
Walimu ambao wako hapo ndani wanaishi nje. Kwa hivyo kama community pia tutaathirika kwa upande moja ama nyingine.
You have been in an area where you have connected with the people who are positive. You need to isolate yourself. You don't need even to be forced to do that.
While learning may still continue here, the school remains out of bounds, even for parents.
Please be assured that your children are safe when they are in school here.
Elsewhere in Voi, yet another school has been closed for weeks after 3 teachers returned a positive result for COVID-19.
Venye shule zimefungwa sahi, pia pale nyumbani tuliweza kuambiwa kwa tusiende kulala, tufanye more revision, tusicheze huko nje na tujikinge.
3 other schools have been closed in Mombasa County and a teacher killed by the virus. The government, however, insists learners will stay in school.
I hereby order that they continue with their learning and examination preparations, but under heightened health safety measures.
The president also clearing the air on the schedule for resumption of learning for other grades and classes still at home.
Also order that all basic education classes resuming in-person learning in January of 2021.
Safe resumption of learning activities has been a challenge across the globe. The French government has closed 22 schools due to fresh infections in September. In Hong Kong, schools were closed again after months of successful physical learning without major incident. This because the country was hit by a third wave of COVID-19 infections, which authorities termed as a threat to the safety of the learners. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Well, you should brace for a December holiday like never before as new public health protocols to contain the spread of COVID-19 extended through January 2021. Well, the government has also revised the nationwide curfew hours alongside the suspension of political gatherings for months. Seth Olale has more on how the government intends to contain super spreader activities.
It was a classic case of leaders preaching water but sipping of wine. By urging Kenyans to observe in strict adherence the very protocols they are flouting, President Uhuru Kenyatta leading the pack in taking responsibility for putting lives in danger.
We as leaders have also fallen short. And we as leaders this time round have no option but to give our all. We must know the way, go the way, and show our people the way.
As a result, political rallies have now been suspended.
And anyone wishing to hold such meetings should do so in town halls, and in doing so, must observe all COVID protocols, including limiting the attendees to 1/3 seating capacity of the hall and the wearing of face masks.
The nationwide dusk to dawn curfew has also been revised starting tonight for 2 months through the festive season.
The curfew will now be enforced between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning.
Bars and restaurants will now close by 9 p.m, an hour before the start of curfew. Alcohol selling establishments that do not adhere to the guidelines risk having their licenses revoked. And what's more, failure to wear a mask may now be more costly.
No mask, no service. Bila barakoa, hakuna huduma.
Counties with escalating cases of COVID-19 may have localized lockdowns upon consultation with the national government. County governments will also maintain isolation facilities as a way of preparedness. Religious gatherings and other indoor social events, as weddings and funerals, are now required to hold no more than a 1/3 seating capacity.
And we continue to plead to all other Kenyans to be careful, to take care of themselves, and also to take care of others as we move forward as a country.
And with the current state of the economy, the affected entities most certainly will record huge losses. Yet the government maintains it is effecting the restrictions in order to save its citizens. Seth Olale, NTV, Nairobi.
That the COVID-19 situation in the country is alarming is no secret. And this has been made evident by the President summoning an extraordinary summit of both tiers of government to address the situation. A situation that has been deteriorating under the watch and championing of the country's leaders. But even as the President announced tightening of some restrictions while adding on new warnings, Laila Mohammed looks at how hard hit we are.
The latest figures from the Ministry of Health show that the country's COVID-19 infection rate jumped to a 16% average in October, almost quadruple the status in September. In the same period, more than 300 people succumbed to the disease.
October has gone down as the most tragic month in our fight against COVID. We are now staring at a new wave of this pandemic, And the question we must all ask ourselves is, where did we as Kenyans go wrong? And what could we have done differently?
The Council of Governors has expressed concern over a stretched healthcare system, warning that if no action to control the situation was taken, then they would be clearly overwhelmed. In their report to the 6th extraordinary session of the National and County Governments Coordinating Summit, the COG noted that some counties are yet to attain the bare minimum preparedness measures that they were to have achieved by July 2020. In that report, 12 counties are yet to attain the 300-bed capacity in isolation centres, with 11 barely able to care for critically ill patients as they have less than 5 ICU beds or none at all.
We are heading to breaking point because it is things that are raging out of control.
It is not because our healthcare system has failed. The crisis is as a result of failure to manage our human response to this pandemic.
The developed units also say that their frontline workers are under threat, with many unable to adequately provide personal protective equipment. In August, 1,038 have been infected, with the number rising by over 600 medics in 2 months to stand at 1,665 in October. Also in August, 16 healthcare workers had died, and the number rose to 19 in October.
Both levels of government to ensure all health workers, including community health volunteers, have access to full and quality PPEs.
The head of state has slammed the brakes on political gatherings, which have been pinpointed as super spreader events. The transport, entertainment, trade and tourism sectors have also been flagged as weak points in the pandemic war. The COG says the non-compliance of protocols in these gatherings, as well as in places of worship and other social gatherings, has also aided the virus stronghold in community infections. The governors also say that more than 8 county assemblies have shut down. 16 counties have closed some of their facilities, while various others have scaled down operations. While Wananchi are battling the pandemic and its economic effects, insurance companies had said they would cover COVID-19 patients, but the governors say this is a lie.
It is unacceptable, heartless, and unethical that the private insurance companies who have been paid colossal amount of money now deny disparate Kenyans access to medical care, demanding more money from the already overburdened population.
Leila Mohammed, NTV.
As the government reviews public health protocols to contain a further spread, 1,494 new patients have been confirmed from 8,839 samples tested in the last 24 hours, a 16% infection rate. Kenya's COVID-19 caseload now stands at 58,587 as a result. Sadly, another 12 patients have lost their lives to the disease, meaning the country's death toll has now shot up to 1,051. On a positive note, however, 586 individuals have been discharged from various treatment facilities and home-based care, bringing the total recovery count to 38,381. Out of the 1,494 new cases, Nairobi County has recorded the highest number at 414, Nakuru County 188, Mombasa 173, Kiambu 150, and Uasin Gishu has 107 cases. Well, as community transmissions continue on an upward trajectory across the globe, the search for a COVID-19 vaccine continues, with nearly 200 COVID-19 potential prototypes in various stages of testing. It is, however, emerging that low-income economies may have to wait longer for the job. The Duke Global Health Innovation Center says more than 8 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccine candidates are already being negotiated through sales deals involving mainly high-income countries, vaccine developers and global vaccine manufacturers. Countries like the United Kingdom and Canada have reportedly pre-purchased more than enough vaccines to cover their entire populations. The organization says poorer countries, as in the case in sub-Saharan Africa, may have to wait until 2024, so long as larger economies continue to engage in what some are calling vaccinationalism. And on that note, let's take a quick break. When we come back, of course, we'll be telling you what is happening in the United States and the election there. Stay with us.
I love what I saw at Victory Gardens, the solar, street light, the water, service roads. It's just a home far away from home.
I would encourage everybody to go to Optiven. Actually, they are real. I wanted to build a retirement home. The serenity, the place is beautiful actually.
I am very happy and I am satisfied.
Thank you very much, Optiven. You have given me a home. I'm happy.
Optiven Limited, the pacesetters in real estate.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Hello, Susan. Yes, you. Holding that pack. I know you've been avoiding me because in the past I've made you uncomfortable. Maybe even caused you pain. But I want you to know that I have changed. For you.
Aye, what is this?
You can love me again if you're willing to give me another chance. Meet me at aisle 4. Hey, Susan.
It's lactose free.
know you love milk, and now there is milk that loves you. With Gold Crown lactose-free milk, you can enjoy the richness of natural cow's milk without any of the digestion discomfort. Gold Crown lactose-free, milk that loves you.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
So vile nasema, wacha nikubatie statistics. Niko na gamia 1,500. Tunakuwa drapo gamia na kuwa 6,000. 2,000 natengeneza leather, natengeneza viatu, wallet, kibeti, nauza hapa, nabatia wewe 50%. Wacha niweke credit nikupigie.
Namna gani wewe? Hii mambo ya kuishiwa na credit kila saa? Come on. Nunua hiyo simu ya Vodafone. Calling fiber to fiber is 0 shillings per minute. And it is not expensive. Only 2,999 Kenya shillings.
Alo hali wa. Hata fadhali hiyo credit ikae ninunue simu basi.
Faibika leo na Vodafone for only 2,999 Kenya shillings. It will always be free to call fiber to fiber.
Answer's here.
Wow, what a nice gift. I would definitely give this next time.
Cousins Baby Gift Pack, a carefully selected range of safe baby products with natural goodness, trusted for decades by millions of moms across Africa. Cousins Baby, the gift that keeps on giving.
A lot of K in love.
You said you wanted to come home because you missed us, but now it's pretty obvious that it was just an excuse to see her. Did you get scared that she was getting married?
I won't let you talk to me like that!
It's always the same with you, Dad!
Can't you see that I can't live without Luciana?
It's just that I can't believe this is happening again.
What upsets me is that nothing works out as I planned. Everything goes wrong unless I do it myself.
I warned you, didn't I?
What's wrong with you, Lillian?
I told you not to mess with me!
Along came love. Collect your invoice from our cash office at Times Tower Banking Hall or City Hall and Makadara offices and pay today only through the Nairobi County Revenue Collection accounts at Cooperative Bank of Kenya. You stand to gain 100% from the 100% waiver extension.
Well, thank you for staying with us. Let's now trade our focus to the United States, where the 2020 U.S. presidential election has shaped up to be one for the history books, with the incumbent Donald Trump accusing the opposition of seeking to rig the election. Democrat candidate Joe Biden has on his part expressed confidence in a win. Now, speaking on Tuesday night, President Trump, who is seeking another 4 years in office, said his team would be moving to the Supreme Court in an effort to stop vote counting.
It's not every day that you hear an incumbent presidential candidate cry foul in an election while possessed of the instruments of power. Usually it happens the other way around. U.S. President Donald Trump began by tweeting, "We are up big, but they're trying to steal the election." Then, Tuesday night, he characteristically blew convention out of the water by restating his intent to contest the legitimacy of the exercise.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win. So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop.
The Supreme Court threat and the fear of violence have seen storefronts boarded up in Washington and Philadelphia and has seen multiple rings of barriers erected around the White House. The situation and turn of events has led Kenyans on social media to draw comparisons to some of our presidential elections past. Trump's main challenger and the Democratic candidate Joe Biden also exuded confidence that he would emerge victorious.
It's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election.
For either Trump or Biden to win outright, they would need to secure 270 electoral votes, which is 50% plus one of the votes cast by the 538 members of the Electoral College. The number of electors from each state is determined by the size of its population. All except for 2 states award all the Electoral College votes to whoever won the popular vote in the state. But it is possible for a candidate to win the election despite losing the popular vote, as happened in 2016 when Hillary Clinton lost to Trump despite garnering almost 3 million more votes. Should either candidate fail to secure the 270 electoral votes required to win, the House of Representatives would vote to elect the president. But that has only happened once in U.S. history, in 1824. It's also worth taking note that who wins the presidential election is not up to the whole country, rather what is famously known as the swing or battleground states, which could go either red or blue and have historically been decided by a narrow margin. In fact, when Trump won all 6 in 2016, he won 3 by less than a percentage point of the popular vote. According to U.S. media projections, Trump has taken Florida while Biden has secured Wisconsin and Arizona. The battle for the swing state of Pennsylvania saw Trump take to Twitter on Monday to warn of violence in the streets after a Supreme Court decision allowed for ballots to be counted for up to 3 days after the election. Trump has accused Democrats of plotting to rig the election through mail-in voting, which he's argued is vulnerable to manipulation. The U.S. has acted as watchdog in elections around the world, and now its electoral processes are under attack from none less than the head of state.
Well, a very intriguing election there in the United States. We'll continue bringing you more details of exactly what will be happening in the next hours and coming days as well. Well, back in the country, women in Samburu County have for the first time been granted official land ownership rights, marking a major milestone in a region and country where patriarchal norms have often denied them the opportunity. 8 women are among 10,000 recipients of title deeds issued during a national titling program event on Tuesday, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruth Sarmoe reports that the female recipients are already making big plans.
Mara ya kwanza tangu tuchukue uhuru Mheshimiwa Rais, pale Samburu tampatia mama cheti cha kumiliki shamba.
57 years after independence, Samburu women have a reason to celebrate. For the first time, they can now stake claim to land.
Nafurahia nimepata title deed. Sasa sina shaka tena ya kufanya maendeleo yote katika shamba yangu kwa sababu nimepata shamba yangu. Ndaweza jenga sasa, ndaweza lima, ndaweza fanya kazi yote. Juu nimepata haki yangu.
Maralal cheerfully displays the document. A point of pride for a woman who could never call the plot of land she occupies hers, even after the death of her husband. The patriarchal nature of the society has, for long, barred women from inheriting land.
Kutokuwa na title deed kwetu iko na changamoto sana kwa sababu mtu huwezi jenga ile nyumba ambayo permanent, huwezi lima, pengine unaweza weka kafensi mahali fulani waambie na wazee hapana usiweke hii.
Now, the women of Samburu have not just a symbol of ownership, but also the freedom to develop the land as they please.
Wasee tu ndio ni kama wako na nguvu kwa boma. Hawa mama ni kama hawana nguvu sana. Lakini kwa vile sasa hata hii serikali inatambua wamama sana, tunaona wanajali hata wamama. Hata kwa kasi yote ambayo inatoka sasa tunaona tu wanaweka wamama ndani. Sasa tunafurahia sana juu hata sisi tukiwa wamama tumepata sauti.
Until this day, the government had issued only 2,000 title deeds in Samburu since 1963. Tuesday titling process alone saw some 10,000 residents receive the critical document. President Uhuru Kenyatta says this will continue.
Wananchi hawapendi ati wapatiwe ya bure. Mtu anataka asaidiwe, ajitafutie na ajijenge, na ndio anajua yeye mwenyewe ndio anajisimamia kwa hali na kwa mali.
Ruth Sarmoe, NTV.
Thank you, Ruth. Now, listen to this. There are strange things that happen in life that leaves one with more questions than answers. And then there are thieves who rob you of everything while you sleep and you don't hear a thing. Well, this is what happened to 50 families living in a 3-story building in Mihango in Utawala. When each of their homes was broken into last night, valuables stolen and none of them heard a thing. Leila Mohammed reports that police in the area are on the hunt for the thieves.
Beyond the black and green gate of this apartment building at Mihango Estate in Utawala, residents gather in small groups, perhaps to give each other comfort over a shocking revelation when many woke up to startling news in the morning.
Tumeshtukia tumeibiwa around 5, but tunasuspect hiyo kitu imehappen from 2:30 am to 3. Tumepata milango ziko wazi zote, electronics zimeibiwa, TV, kuna watu wameibiwa pia pesa na kibeti tumepata imerushwa hapa kwa ground floor. So kitu na simu kuna mwenye ameibiwa simu 3. Kitu inatushtua tulikuwa tumefunga milango na chapi za chini. Chapi za chini zote zimefunguliwa na milango zote zimeachwa zikiwa open.
As they try to figure out how the individuals who stole from the residents in the building gained access into their homes, they have also noted that the thieves took away even the clothing that had been hanging on the lines to dry. But for some like this lady, the loss of a TV set is too much to bear.
Kwa nini tuko na watu saa 9 wanaibia wengine? Hadi gari 2 weeks ago the same building gari ilibiwa hapa nje. Beba electronics. What shall happen tomorrow?
The residents say that they suspect the robbers drugged them. The victims complain that there has been a spike in robbery incidents in the last few days.
Hiyo ni mwanzo tu. Ni kama walikuwa wanaangalia, wanataka kuona kama hiyo dawa inafanya kazi. Ndio kesho yake sasa watakuamusha wakwambie boss, tupatie pesa zenye uko nazo. Boss leta tutumie hizo pesa zenye ziko kwa account. Hiyo ndio watafanya. Sababu kama walifanya hivyo na hatukusikia.
What is next?
Next tunaona ni kitu kaa hiyo.
They have reported the matter to the Karangita police post while holding on to hope that their property will be recovered. But before then, they are demanding for police protection. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
I belong to any one of us.
Now that is one shocking news item there. Mind-blowing. How does that actually happen? 50 families being robbed. No one heard a thing. I don't know what you think about that. Talk to us at NTV Kenya, at Zainab Ismail. The hashtag is NTV Tonight. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with the business news.
The Samsung BlueTech sale is backed by popular demand. Up to 20% off on selected mobile devices, along with additional 50% screen replacement offer on the Galaxy S20 series. Enjoy up to 30% off on selected TVs, refrigerators, washing machines, and other home appliances. Don't miss out on these unbeatable deals. Visit your nearest participating Samsung dealer store to enjoy this and many more offers.
We all are looking for products to protect ourselves from viruses, but not all products protect us. Did you know that using Dettol soap and water protects against viruses? Many viruses are surrounded by an envelope with receptors that enable them to enter a human cell and cause infection. Dettol soap destroys the outer layer of the virus and effectively removes it. Protect your family from the spread of viruses with Dettol. Dettol cleans and is now tested and proven to be effective against COVID-19 virus. This has been Medivax for Dettol.
The Dettol range is available on Jumia. Shop safely and conveniently today.
Pata kila kitu upendacho kwa M-Pesa kupitia *334#.
Ah, Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
My primary school life was difficult, but my mom struggled and I managed to finish the class age 2016. I knew back in my heart that when I was getting a scholarship, I couldn't make it for the high school. My friend told me all benefit of Wings to Fly, scholarship, school fees, shopping, transport. I knew that there's no any option to get the school fees. That's why I went to apply the scholarship. My mom was called back and told that Edwin got the scholarship. I knew it that my dreams would come to pass. 2020, when the coronavirus pandemic came, I was very, very worried about my KCSE, but Wings to Fly gave us light system and the radio that we will continue lessons with it. Now I can read at night and wake up very early in the morning, like 4, to go through my books. Before I got the scholarship, it was like darkness was before me. But when I got the Wings to Fly scholarship, light has come to my life, and I am sure that by God's grace I will go to the best university in this world, which is Oxford, to partake medicine and surgery, and I can see my future being very, very good.
Answer's here! Yes! Wow!
a nice gift. I would definitely give this next time.
Cousins Baby Gift Pack, a carefully selected range of safe baby products with natural goodness, trusted for decades by millions of moms across Africa. Cousins Baby, the gift that keeps on giving.
How much?
Hii ni so.
Hii ni 20 bob na hii ni so na zote ni the same size.
While other networks discriminate, sisi hatubagui, tuna serve everybody. Get to Bonga 10 and enjoy 100 minutes Airtel to Airtel. Dial *544#. Not just for a few, but for every one of you. Airtel, the honest network.
It is time to get down to business. Welcome. I am Julians Amboko. The Kenya Revenue Authority is targeting to collect at least 5 billion shillings between January and June 2021 through the implementation of the Digital Services Tax. The digital tax is among the avenues the taxman is banking on to raise the revenue collections amid the coronavirus pandemic. Victor Kiprop has the details.
In the current financial year, the Kenya Revenue Authority had set out to collect 1.51 trillion shillings in tax revenue, a figure that has since been revised downward to just 1.48 trillion shillings as the economy took a hit from the effects of the coronavirus pandemic.
Our revenue performance is below our expectation. We are registering underperformance in our initial projections. And this, compounded by the expanded expenditure pressure, is definitely going to strain us.
But following the easing of restrictions in the last 4 months, the taxman says things are looking up.
We experienced our lowest month of collection in May, where we collected 62% of the target. Since then, we have seen the economy has registered positive growth, and we ended the last quarter at around 74% of the target. In this particular quarter that ended, we have ended at 88.5% of the target.
To plug the expected revenue shortfalls, the taxman hopes it can convince Kenyans and businesses to surrender a portion of the 250 billion shillings in unremitted taxes through the voluntary disclosure program. KRA is also hoping to collect at least 5 billion shillings between January and June next year by implementing the digital service tax from January 1st.
Taxes are not a punishment. Taxes are contributing. So if you look at the companies that are, for instance, coming in and they're mining oil, they're also paying taxes. They're also paying for the community. They're building schools. They're doing all these things. So why should technology companies come here and not necessarily pay the taxes?
Should we have the impression that they are not paying the rightful amount of taxes, we have devised mechanisms of obtaining independent information to verify. For example, we will go through the card issuers, the MasterCard, the Visas, to get that information. We will work with the Communication Authority of Kenya. We will work with other institutions like Central Bank of Kenya. We will work with banks to ensure we get information on those transactions.
The digital services tax will be levied at the rate of 1.5% of the gross value of any transaction on the digital marketplace. Victor Kiprop, NTV Business.
And elsewhere, the government has defended the push for more electricity generation, saying that the growing fears of excess supply in the market are exaggerated. Energy Principal Secretary Joseph Njoroge says that the benefits of adding to Kenya's electricity supply outweigh the risks, as the country still has a lot to do to plug the perennial outage which is experienced in parts of the country. Data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics shows that in 2019, the total electricity generated in Kenya, including imports, stood at 11,600 gigawatt hours compared to 8,800 gigawatt hours in domestic demand, translating to 2,700 gigawatt hours in excess supply.
There is always a prudent mechanism that is used to project the demand based on various fundamentals and assumptions, economic assumptions, and that projection is the one that guides on the investments. I would not worry much about the oversupply, because I do know that the issue of supply and demand in electricity sometimes is a chicken and egg.
And listed agriculture company Kakuzi PLC has welcomed the move by Murang'a County Assembly to form a joint committee to investigate allegations of human rights violation said to have been perpetrated by officers attached to the company. The committee has been tasked with the responsibility of bringing a report which will unearth the truth on the allegations about Kakuzi within a period of 21 days. Some residents in the neighborhood of Kakuzi Farm have claimed incidents of assault and rape by guards of the company. In a statement to Newsroom signed by the company's Executive Head of Corporate Affairs, Kakuzi has also denied allegations by the Kenya Human Rights Commission that it is manipulating witnesses testifying in the case ongoing in the United Kingdom. Kakuzi is also facing allegations from workers who claim to have been mistreated while in the line of duty and unlawful dismissal.
We want to see how we can have a very good relationship between Kakuzi and the community and the workers. And we do not want our farmers to suffer just as much as we do not want farm workers and the members of the public to suffer.
And getting back to matters energy, retired General Samson Mwathethe is the new board chairman of the Kenya Electricity Company, KENGEN. General Mwathethe, who was appointed by KENGEN's board of directors, takes over from Joshua Choge, who has served in the post since January 2014. KENGEN chose the general for his immense wealth in experience in the deployment of strategy and leadership. General Mwathethe previously served as the vice chief of the Kenya Defence Forces as well as the commander of the Kenyan Navy. His appointment maintains a trend in President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration of having men with highly decorated military background to serve in public commercial entities. And that takes us to the close of business. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Wataipenda, ataipenda, and them, pia yeye, na hao pia, kila mtu ataipenda. Pata kila kitu upendacho kwa M-Pesa kupitia star 334#. Kwa kuweka kila kitu kwa namba moja, tumerahisisha mambo ili uweze kuendelea kufanya vitu unavyopenda ukitumia M-Pesa.
Melissa? Mom, it's Dad's birthday today. I'm giving him a party just like he gives me.
Nothing makes a mother more proud than seeing her child growing up. But I know that as she learns to care for others, she'll face even more germs and the risk of illnesses.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection. Just 1 cup of Dettol protects your home and family from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
The Dettol range is available on Jumia. Shop safely and conveniently today.
Are you thinking of bringing light into your house? Think of Sumo Candle. Why Sumo Candle? It is non-drip, doesn't smell and has no smoke. It's giving you money value by burning for a long time, and it is also brighter. Any day, anytime, Sumo Candle is the best for you. Purchase Sumo Candle from the nearest shop at a pocket-friendly price. Always smile and walk with Sumo Candle from Rock Industries Limited. For inquiries, visit our offices at Ndume Road off Lungalunga Road, behind Carton Manufacturers near Sinai Stage. You can also talk to us through 0722 575 619 or 0736 028 181.
Kira! Kira? Where are you?
Malaria!
That's why you need the superior protection of Mortein 360-degree reach. Only this has 11 fans which enable it to reach the farthest corners. Mortein, total indoor protection.
Fun and food got together beautifully at GMC Place. Enjoy our succulent meals in a serene setting with a varied choice of fun games for the little ones. Cup it up with a cuppa or a cocktail, all available to your taste. Discover the joy of a warm pool by diving into the Blue Oasis heated pool. Or at GMC Place, the fun never ends. Make your reservation today on 0701 560 560.
Miaka 20 safari anza ya kutuunganisha kama Wakenya. Twende tukiuke, twende tukiuke. Let's go beyond, let's go beyond. Let's go beyond. Mimi na wewe tukibuni kazi nzuri ya kujivunia. Let's go beyond, let's go beyond. Kwa juhudi na matumaini, twaelekea kesho pamoja. Twende tukiuke, twende tukiuke. Safaricom.
With the Stay Soft refill, saving money is as easy as snip, pour, mix with water, and shake. Stay Soft refill. It's 2 liters of Stay Soft for up to 30% less.
Welcome back. Now, Ethiopia has declared a state of emergency in the Tigray region of Africa's second most populous nation. This follows Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's order for a military response to a deadly attack on a military base by elements in the restive region. Comes in the wake of escalating tension.
The Ethiopian government has ordered troops to launch attacks on forces of the regional administration in Tigray, raising a conflict between Addis Ababa and the semi-autonomous region. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed saying the Tigrayan People's Liberation Front had crossed the last red line by attacking the local base of the Ethiopian National Defense Forces and attempting to rob artillery from the facility. The attack resulted in injuries and damage of property. The troubled northern autonomous region of Ethiopia had defied a decision made in August to reschedule the vote initially meant for May this year to next year due to COVID-19 and held elections despite the national postponement. And while Addis Ababa allowed the vote to go on, Tigray administration subsequently said it would not recognize Dr. Abiy's government beyond October, claiming it had overrun its mandate. Tension has been growing over who controls federal military assets in Tigray. The diplomat corps in Addis Ababa have also called for a ceasefire and de-escalation of hostilities.
Well, away from that, let's now take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at what's been happening in the world of sports.
Wakenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
The Dettol range is available on Jumia. Shop safely and conveniently today.
Miaka 20 safari anza ya kutuunganisha kama Wakenya. Twende tukiuke, twende tukiuke. Let's go beyond, let's go beyond. Let's go beyond.
sir.
I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Linda Assistia Mitana Absa, the official banking partner of the EPL in Africa. Stand a chance to win 1 million Kenya shillings every month when you deposit into your Absa personal or business account. That's Absa. That's Africanacity.
Get to Bonga 10 and enjoy 100 minutes Airtel to Airtel. Upgrade to Bonga Plus 20 to get 100 free minutes Airtel to Airtel, plus 10 additional minutes to all networks. Dial star 544 hash. Not just for a few, but for every one of you. Airtel, the honest network.
I love what I saw at Victory Gardens. The solar, street light, the water, service roads. It's just a home far away from home.
I would encourage everybody to go to Optiven. Actually, they are real. I wanted to build a retirement home. The serenity, the place is beautiful actually.
I am very happy and I am satisfied.
Thank you very much, Optiven. You have given me a home. I'm happy.
Optiven Limited, the pacesetters in real estate. Along came love.
You said you wanted to come home because you missed us, but now it's pretty obvious that it was just an excuse to see her. Did you get scared that she was getting married?
I won't let you talk to me like that!
It's always the same with you, Dad!
Can't you see that I can't live without Luciana?
It's just that I can't believe this is happening again.
What upsets me is that nothing works out as I planned. Everything goes wrong unless I do it myself.
I warned you, didn't I?
What's wrong with you, Lillian?
I told you not to mess with me!
Along came love.
Collect your invoice from our cash office at Times Tower Banking Hall or City Hall and Makadara offices and pay today only through the Nairobi County Revenue Collection accounts at Cooperative Bank of Kenya. You stand to gain 100% from the 100% waiver extension.
NTV Sport in association with Showmax.
A very good evening to you. And Vihiga United have become the first team from the National Super League to earn promotion to the Kenyan Premier League via a playoff system. Now this after beating Kisumu All-Stars 2-1 away in the second leg to tie the aggregate at 3-3. Vihiga's return leg victory came courtesy of second-half goals from Dennis Wafula and Patrick Okulo, despite an attempted Kisumu comeback through Eric Otieno's goal in the 47th minute. Now with the aggregate stalemate, the game went into penalties, with Vihiga winning it 5-3. Interestingly, the tie saw both teams produce their victories on away grounds, with Kisumu, who have been relegated back to the second tier, having won the first leg in Vihiga.
First leg tulipoteza na vile nimekuwa nikisema tulipoteza kwa sababu concede mapema sana. Ile penalty tulifungwa dakika ya 3 ya 4.
It is one such day that we lose a match that we are really expecting to win.
And Kenya international Michael Olunga will miss Harambee Stars' back-to-back 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches against Comoros on November 11th and 15th, respectively. This after his Japanese club, Kashiwa Reysol, announced that the team will go into a 10-day quarantine following 4 confirmed positive COVID-19 cases. Reysol reported that coach Nelsinho, 1 player and 3 members of staff have tested positive for the virus. Olunga has scored 23 times in as many games in Japan's top flight, and his absence will be considered a big blow for head coach Jacob Ghost Mulee. Well, the Kenya national basketball team looks to qualify for the 2021 FIBA AfroBasket, the continent's top basketball festival. That will be for the first time in 17 years. Now, to do that, they need to finish in the top 3 of their 4 nations qualifying group in the second round of this year's AfroBasket qualifiers, scheduled for November 25th through to 29th in Kigali, Rwanda. Group B opposition will see the Morans take on Angola, Mozambique, and Giants Senegal, with the government having given the national team a green green light to train. The Morans have been going through their paces at the Nyayo National Stadium, with some of the international-based players set to join the team in due course. A 19-man preliminary squad was released in October, and hopes are that the Morans haven't lost the momentum that saw them win 6 pre-qualifiers at home in January. The national team also finished second at the inaugural FIBA AfroChan in 2019.
The team cohesion. Training as a team, it has been a challenge. So we were training in isolation. Only individual training. We wake up, you do a little bit of ball work, then you do some sprints individually. But collectively as a team.
Well, to some international football, where Liverpool forward Diogo Jota scored a hat-trick in a 5-0 Champions League win over Atalanta. Jota scored a first-half brace, completing his hat-trick after 55 minutes in Bergamo, after Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane added 2 more just after the break. The Reds lead Group D.
Showmax.
All right, thanks, Ida, for that. And that brings us to the end of our bulletin this hour. Many thanks for watching. Our sign language interpreter this evening was David Agundor. From the entire team that made this possible, thank you for being part of it. My name is Zainab. Ismail. Till tomorrow, take care and good night.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
It's one platform where everybody has a voice.
If we don't have jobs, if we don't have money, if we're not, if our business...
Hosted by the King of Wit.
Do you know the Bible to that much detail? Ama hizi ni zile tu zinaendanishana na dhambi zenye unajua.
It's basically everybody's show.
Vitamin C ni cassava, shauri ya nguvu. Vitamin D ni dania. Ana chakula, anaimba. I have decided.
The Wicked Edition with Dr. King Ori and the Guesswork CEO, Kenya.